Cars can be the best soundtrack of all time. However, not all car sounds are created equal. Nobody wants to hear that single cam D-Series Civic go down the street that's straight piped. Sorry. And I'm not one of those people to be like, all I gotta have is the sound of the motor. I don't need no music to make me happy. I just need the sound of good old glory combustion. Look, that's all fine and dandy, but not all the time. At least in my opinion. Having a radio, a head unit, or a sound system in your car is fantastic. Honestly, anymore, I don't think I could own a car without one. And just like your favorite movie, music sets tone. Tone is incredibly important when it comes to your thinking process. It affects your mood, it affects what's going on in your life. You kind of analyze the world completely differently. I asked for your favorite songs and I got some great responses. Everything from Initial D's soundtrack to being rickrolled. Very funny. But I'm doing this video as an experiment with the community on this channel to talk about our very favorite music to drive to. Since most of us love driving on here, I know all of you have that certain song that gets you going. And I'm always looking for great music as well, so I figured we could all get involved in the comment section below. So right off the bat, what are your favorite tracks to drive to? Depending on the success of this video, this is either gonna be episode 1 of a full series where I do this once a month or so, or it's gonna be the last one, so we'll see how it goes. Now, I think the best music to drive to is the music where you feel like you're in your own music video, looking out the window. And how music creates chapters in your life. When you hear that certain song while you're driving, what do you think about? When it comes to music that I drive to, 90% of the time it's either self-reflective or kind of introspective. I kind of go to a place, if that makes sense. For this first episode, and probably every other episode, I have split my music categories into 2 categories. Music I listen to during the day and music I listen to during the nighttime. Now, I know that sounds weird, but like we said, music sets the tone. Sometimes the music I listen to at night doesn't really fit a nice, sunny, bright day. It just doesn't feel right to me. Now, not all these songs are super deep cuts. It's not like I'm a hipster saying, you need to go check these out because I found them first. All I'm saying is these are my first choices, and maybe down the road, I'll pick some more for you guys to listen to. We all have different tastes, but let's get into it. All right, let's start with daytime. I'm gonna get it right out of the way. Porter Robinson's Language. Language is the theme song of Forza Horizon 1. As a car person, the moment I hear this song, it's like a time travel nostalgia trip. And not only that, it's this beautiful melody with a little bit of piano in it with a synthesizer. This is when Porter Robinson kind of transitioned from the bro step or the dub step to more of his more melodic projects down the road. Porter is actually one of my favorite artists, so there's gonna be a little bit of bias here, just fair warning. But Language is fantastic. It's just a nice, simple song that's very atmospheric. I'm gonna use that word a lot in this video. So next up, we have a drum and bass pick. Now, drum and bass is a fantastic genre to drive to because it's ambient and it kind of keeps you focused while at the same time kind of getting your heart racing. But the pick I chose was actually from Forza Horizon 4 called While the World Sleeps by Kino. While the World Sleeps is this very beautiful track with a little bit of vocals in the background, nothing substantial, no physical lyrics really, just some nice tone pitches and tone changes throughout this song. It's great mountain driving music. I think that's a great way to put it. Also, if you want me to do a drum and bass pick for every single one of these videos, please let me know because I have a million of them. I'm also gonna try to change genres quite a bit so we kind of get everybody's sort of taste, so bear with me. As you know, I'm a dance music fan, but there's gonna be dance music on here, just fair warning. Next though is alternative, and it's a vibe, dude, absolute vibe. A band straight out of Virginia Beach, where I used to live, is Turnover with Dizzy on the Come Down. Dizzy on the Come Down is this absolutely chill song that like, it's like a lullaby. It reminds you of like sunny days at the beach or just sunsets at the distance, sunrise in the morning. You could use it at any time, really. You could use it for just about anything when it comes to daytime. It's a lovely song. Nothing crazy. It doesn't crescendo up and down. It kind of stays the same all the way through. Next is our morning wake up song when it comes to getting in the car, driving to work, and taking on your day. And that is Empty Space by The Story So Far. Story So Far is this, if you've never heard of them, is this pop punk band that has so much energy, just sheer energy. Their songs, other than like Upside Down and a few other ones, they just don't let up. It's about filling in the gaps of your life and making things happen. So that's what I like about it. I'm a huge fan of 90s hip hop, and that's gonna be on this list as well. Next is Moment of Truth by Gangstar. Now that might be a surprise to many of you that I listen to Gangstar, but I love Gangstar. Basically the message is the moment of truth is it's all up to you. It doesn't matter. Don't worry about other people around you that are talking trash or giving you a hard time. It is up to you to get things done. And also at the same time, don't resort to the things that are the easy way out. I think that's the best way to put it. When you're driving down the road going, yeah, this is my moment of truth. Going to the most maybe pleasant song on the list is The Hours by Beach House. My friend Brent got me onto Beach House because it was in a skate video while we were skateboarding one day. And he's like, just trust me. You're gonna like it. I know you will. And my God, I have been so hooked to Beach House ever since. When it comes to just having something to drive to anywhere, literally anywhere. It's beautiful. The vocals are beautiful. And it just makes you feel good. When they do the nice guitar bends, it's like pure serotonin. Next for my post-hardcore guys is OG Loco by Of Mice and Men. Now, this is quite the turn from Beach House, but I know a lot of my fans on here are big post-hardcore fans because one time in a car review, I wore Of Mice and Men shirt and the comment section just went absolutely bananas. Next is Sleepless by Flume because it's Sleepless by Flume, fantastic track. Next for the Southern California vibe is What I Got by Sublime. It's got this kind of country-ish vibe with the intro with the acoustic guitar, but it's on the border of alternative, country, reggae, like got all these genres kind of mixed together, and it's very simple. Love is what I got. It's what he's got. Next is MK's 17. For my house music fans, it's this awesome, upbeat, happy song that has great piano melodies and at the same time, great synthesizers and hi-hats and drums to kind of get you going during the day. It feels great. Driving down the road to this song, you feel like nothing could go wrong. Next up is The Hives. I call them the band to get pulled over to because you cannot not drive fast when listening to them. The Hives have I Hate to Say You Told You So and Tick Tick Boom, which are just like crazy, intense intros, and they just get you going. In fact, The Hives had such a vibe that director Edgar Wright of many great movies said to the lead singer one time, "Hey, I'm a big fan." And they responded, "Why wouldn't you be?" Okay, Nighttime. Let's get started. Okay, Nighttime, we're gonna be like, God dang, David, you listen to some heavy stuff, but not heavy in the way you think. More European dance heavy, I guess you could say. One of my favorite EPs is I.O. and Lights' AM 444 EP. Now, I.O. is actually born in Richmond, Virginia, where I grew up, and unfortunately, he passed away last year. So rest in peace, I.O. Incredible talent, gone way too soon. You would swear that I.O. is from Europe. I mean, the beats he has while you're driving down the road, it's just so great with Light's vocals. Light's vocals are so unique in this almost high-pitched way that you're like, I feel like if she went any farther, it wouldn't be good. But Lights knows how to make her vocals work in like every scenario. It's pretty spectacular. But Annihilation, do that song first. If you want to just give it a try, that's the song you should try first, just for a nighttime cruise. My next pick, honestly, I'm just gonna say it, After Dark by Mr. Kitty. Incredible atmosphere in this song. No matter where you are driving at night, it will fit. There you go, let's move on. All right, if you're gonna get it out of the way, Worlds by Porter Robinson, Sad Machine. Sad Machine is one of the most simple, like, best composed electronic tracks ever made. It uses a lot of Ocarina of Time inspiration from Zelda. If you're a big Zelda guy, think of a modern day fairy fountain soundtrack from Ocarina of Time. It has this almost robotic voice to kind of get used to, but it has this sense of innocence to it. Also on this album, Divinity is incredible and Sea of Voices is incredible, and they're basically songs that are introspective. When I drive to those songs, I feel like I time travel through my entire life as I'm driving down the highway. Like, it's super weird. Like, you know that saying that you have your life flash before my eyes? Like, I feel that when I listen to these tracks. I'm not crazy, I promise. My next pick is Run by Alice in Wonderland. Now, I saw Alice in Wonderland my first time in 2015 at Electric Daisy Carnival, and she was just starting to get known. And I remember her blasting this at Cosmic Meadow, one of the stages there, and going, what is this? It's a song about battling yourself or battling anybody else who's trying to take you down. It's literally, don't take me down, I need to find another way. And that's all it is. And that's what your thought process is every day is, I can't let this stuff get to me, I need to find another way. And that's what I love about it. And it has this real heavy synth that just comes in and crescendos into the main chorus. It's awesome. Next is Latch by Disclosure. Latch is just a certified banger. Like, it has one of the greatest choruses that I've ever heard. It is so catchy. It has been used as an acapella in so many mixes and remixes. Next is Empire of the Sun. This band has always been a big go-to for driving for me, especially on long road trips where I feel like I'm like transversing the earth, you know what I mean? Because it's very like otherworldly, their vibe. So like Walking on a Dream and DNA from Ice on the Dune, I love those albums, absolutely love those albums, but those are the two songs that I choose. Next is Gooey by Glass Animals. Dude, if you're just trying to drive home and just have this spiritual journey of you just grooving all the way home, Gooey is the song for you. He never raises his voice a single time in this song. Next is The World Is Yours on Illmatic. That's one of my favorite songs on the album, but honestly, Nas Illmatic is one of my favorite albums of all time. There you go. I'm not gonna stay. It's kind of self-explanatory. Next is Ghost Voices by Virtual Self. It's actually Porter Robinson's side project, so bear with me. Virtual Self is actually an album that's kind of early 2000s and uses samples from the trance era of that time, and also has a lot of anime influence. But Ghost Voices was so freaking catchy and good that it won a Grammy. Ghost Voices is very repetitive, but sometimes you need that for night driving. But I love it. I love the EP. Virtual Self is such a cool EP if you give it a chance. It's way out there. If you're not used to more hardcore dance music, just give it a whirl. It's interesting. Speaking of hardcore dance music, next is Daydream by I Hate Models. I Hate Models is a French DJ producer over in Europe, and this was my first song I ever listened to by him. This dude does not mess around. Daydream at first, the first time you put it on, you instantly have your brain go, this might be way too much for me. Because it's this hardcore drum. You're like, this is it? Like, this is the entire song? And it's not. But then he slowly brings in the other elements that kind of gives you a mood change. It's really fascinating. So you're driving down the street and you've got this chicka-da, chicka-da, chicka-da. Then all of a sudden this choir comes in, and then all of a sudden the hi-hat comes in. Oh, it's so good. Like when the hi-hat comes in, you're like, okay, I can vibe with this. And then that's literally the entire song. It's fantastic. Once I actually gave it a chance, and it took me multiple listen throughs to really appreciate it. Next is I Remember by Deadmau5 and Cascade. It's just a vibe, it's fantastic, and it's a look into your own past, essentially. And it's a very long song, but it sounds great. Going on to Cascade, let's also pick Promise by Cascade on his Automatic album. It's actually a very dark song because it's about a girl who's trying to convince somebody that they love them and not the significant other that they're with. I know that sounds very bad, but the actual song tells almost like a story of, what are you doing with that person? You should be with me. And I think a lot of us, especially in our teenage years and our early 20s, can very much relate to that. In fact, my longest relationship before my current fiance, that's what she used to do to me. And it was torture. It was absolute torture. That's why I can relate to that. I would be dating somebody else, and then, oh, that's convenient. I want you back now. Next is Black Sheep by Metric on Scott Pilgrim vs. the World album from the movie soundtrack. The other song I was gonna pick by Metric was Collect Call, which is also another sad song, but It's great to drive to with the city skyline in the background. That's the best way I can put it. Next is, for our metal fans, Ride the Lightning. This album in general, most of it is awesome. Specifically From Whom the Bell Tolls is like the most epic rock, like let there be rock moment when you're driving down the street at night. It's awesome, especially if you're in an American car, right? You have this V8 in the background, you're like driving down the street with this rumble, and it's like dunna dunna, and you get the bells in the background, like, yeah, I'm coming for you, you know? Next is High School Art Class by Pretty Lights. If you like jazz, dance, and all sorts of genres all mixed into one for an ambient track to drive to, it's a pretty cool track. Uses all sorts of different instruments. And last but not least is Daylily by Movements. One of the saddest songs I've ever heard, probably, but it's absolutely gut-wrenchingly beautiful. It is such a beautiful song. It's all about going through mental struggles, and it's all about significant others and how much you love them no matter what, even if they have to leave. There are those moments where you make these big life decisions while you're in the car. And so that's why I'm doing it as my last pick. Guys, thank you so much for your submissions on this week, and also thank you for commenting down below. Did you like this video? Let me know in the comment section below if you'd like to see me do this again. Make sure to hit the notification bell, subscribe button, and the like button, because it really helps me out in this algorithmic world, and I will see you guys next time, and take it easy. Have a wonderful day. Goodbye.